All right, a KO2 update is here and it's good, great, and weird. Starting with the good, it fixed all of my gripes with the EP133. We got hands-free recording, we got resampling, and the last one's a bit of a deep cut, but we can also create scenes out of order now. So that's all good. Now, the great is what Teenage Engineering added that I did not expect. We're talking sidechaining, which I think they implemented this in the best way possible. We'll check that out in a sec. We also got fixed length recording, which is huge, a MIDI through, total surprise, and another huge one, saving sound edits. And that's one of my favorites for sure. And then it got a little weird with song mode. And we'll go through 3 of my favorites right now and then dive a bit into song mode so you can understand why it's a bit trippy. Starting off, fixed length recording. This works with both the with both the internal resampling as well as the external inputs and the microphone while the sequencer is running. So check this out. I got a simple beat here and I'm gonna record this shaker in, but exactly 1 bar. This is great because I don't need to stop recording and it'll just give me the perfect loop. To do this, we're gonna hit sample and then I'm gonna hit shift. Now, I don't wanna talk too loud because I'm gonna hit the threshold, but if you hit the plus and minus, you can choose for how long. So I'm gonna choose 2 bars. Shh. And you also gotta be kind of careful when you use the mic because these buttons do resonate. But now that we're here, we're gonna go ahead and I believe we just hit it in. So I'm gonna press play. It's still waiting for the threshold. What the? You worked earlier. What are you doing? Oh, I think it timed out. Let's try that again. Boom, there it is. Right, so now we got this in. We'll go to sound, we can turn that up, and then play this back from the beginning. There it is. Right, and then we can just go and correct that. Make sure it's dead on. Cool, and then you can do some weird stuff, right? Pitch it around. Right, send that to the effects, do whatever you want, right? Fixed length recording, it's dope, it's awesome. Thanks so much for doing it. Yeah, I freaking love that thing. Next up is Sidechain. This made me go back to all my projects on the EP133 and add this. So when this was first introduced on Circuit Tracks, for example, I couldn't make a song without it, but I think Teenage has added this in the best way possible, and maybe other manufacturers are doing it in the same way, but they aren't out there saying how they're doing it, right? So who knows? So anyway, to do sidechaining, it's really dope and it's really simple. Basically, you hit shift and effects and you go over to sidechain. Now, the reason I say this is implemented really well is because they call it MIDI sidechain or something along those lines. Essentially, it's not actually listening to the sound and using that as the modulation to squash the targeted sounds. What it's doing is just taking when that sound trigger MIDI information is and letting you choose the length and the shape of the ducking effect. And it's just a way cleaner, simpler, and more predictable sidechain sound that you can just like set your settings and know what they are, enjoy them, and have the same settings for everything. And then you can just go and change the kick up and have it still be the same settings. And the cool thing with that is that you can also just mute that track. You know what, let me just show you. Let me just show you. So we have this track here. Pretty cool, right? Ba, ba, ba. I just want those chords to kind of be squashed a bit. So what we're gonna do, effects, go to our threshold, hold down what our group that we want to have for the sidechain source. In this case, it's gonna be our kick drum on A. And then holding down shift, you choose what groups you want to be affected, the destination for the sidechain. So I want all of these. Now, these are all turned down, right? You turn this up. You can kind of hear it squashing a little bit, but what you really need to change is your length. And with this and this all the way up, you can hear it's basically gone. I kind of like doing this to set the timing of the pump. And you can hear my kick is pretty wild. If we were to go to my kick and just set it to something a little simpler, so let's just do A7. And I'm just gonna lay in a simple kick. Right, so now we go back to this and now we can really fine tune the length. Here it's like really sharp, right? I like kind of a good rhythmic length and the shape all the way down. I forget what it is. It goes from like logarithmic to exponential or something strange. Yes. Now we go back to another groove. Oi. Saving sound edits to sounds, this is way more handy than you realize. I do this a lot on the Digitac too, especially with kits, which I wish the K.O. had, but I mean, I get it, it's $300, at least for now, and maybe it can't handle it storage-wise, but saving sound edits is a step in the right direction, right? So say you have this ride sound, right? I'm gonna go to our edit and let's say we change up its envelope and we lower the attack, its release time, and then I go to its pitch and lower its pitch and change its volume. Now, this is sound 241. I can just hold shift and sound and eventually it says saved. Now, if I were to pull up this sound 241 anywhere else, let's say here, it has all those same settings. So this is great because I use a ton of the kicks on here, but they are just booming. So I'm always shortening them up and I have to do that every single time I load up a new project. So being able to just kind of fine tune the samples that are on here has been great for me. But be wary that this sound saved edit or whatever, I don't know actually. It might affect other things. Who knows? I'm not gonna say that. It will, but maybe it does because it's pulling from a spot, right? 241, so who knows if 241 on another project's used. Anyway, I'm thinking too deep about this, but let's go ahead and add this ride now to this track. Save it. No, you can't save while it plays. Interessante. Good to know. All right, so to get into song mode, we hold down main and hit enter, and we're presented with L's, which stand for, I don't know, legumes, right? It doesn't matter, probably layers. Let's go easy on them, Rick. Easy. So, press play. This layer is now going to play, and then once its longest group pattern finishes, it moves on to the next layer, which is 2, and then it goes on to layer 3, right? But where this gets confusing is that this layer, if I hold down shift, shows me what scene is playing, but the scenes have different patterns for each group. So layer 3 is playing scene 4, and scene 4 is playing pattern A1, B6, C4, and D4, right? You with me? It starts getting tricky real fast, right? So what I ended up running into was on layer 5, I wanted no kick. So what I did was I went to my scene or group pattern 2 and I deleted the kick. And if I, for example, just put it on A1, or hold on, whoa. I'm already getting confused. If I am on layer 5, scene 5, yes. So what I did was I went to A2 and I deleted the kicks. But then on scene 4, layer 4, holy crap. Okay, one sec. Ease up, bro. We got this. Layer 5, I wanted no kick. My mistake was I then deleted all the kicks from A2, but I didn't realize that on layer 4, in scene 4, it was also playing kicks, the track A's pattern 2, which meant I deleted the kicks from my other pattern. Because I can do the same thing on layer 5. If A is playing 1, the kicks are now back, right? So you just need to be wary of all the moving parts of this whole system. My best tip for you with that is that just ignore song mode completely. Just don't even think about it until you are completely done making your song in normal mode, because normal mode can get confusing enough that you're here jamming on A1, B6, C3, and D4, right? And then, oh, you want to add a new thing, you go to commit, now you're on scene 7 in this case, and I go back here and I want to just erase my kicks. Right, that's fine, and maybe we can add something new. And that's now scene 7, right? But if I wanted to add that, and actually let's do this. That's fine. Get rid of this, get rid of that. Let's say we wanted to add that to a part. We go to main, enter, and I say, all right, layer 5 is playing scene 5. My head immediately would be, let's go and set A2. Wait. Did I fix this up already? Okay, no. Whoa. Wait. Where's my ba-bum? Where did I even put my ba-bum? Was it on 7? Okay, so then 7 is playing A7. See what I'm saying? So, we go into song mode. I want layer 5 to play A7. And what I just did right now, I messed up because we're still editing scene 5. This layer and scene, you can edit the scenes within song mode, which is fine because you can also copy your scenes and paste your scenes, which is cool, but it's just a lot of moving parts. And I know I'm complaining about an awesome feature that people are gonna be blowing me away by, and I'm gonna be mad because I'll be like, what am I doing? I'm just here complaining. I should be making music. It's a blessing and a curse. I love that you have the flexibility and the power to go and have all these 99 scenes and then all these crazy patterns, and then the scenes hold those patterns. The patterns are all different lengths, and then you go into song mode and the layers. What it really comes down to is, honestly, it gets so confusing for me because of the reason why I love the K.O. so much, which is its limiting screen. It's hard to handle a lot of this stuff. So again, ignore song mode until you've just built your scenes exactly like you want. And then when you're in song mode, don't be changing up the patterns. Don't be editing the patterns in here, because you're probably in a scene and you're probably messing something else up. Because if I go to layer 6 is scene 6, layer 7 is scene 6, layer 8 is scene 5. So look, now that little double kick is back. And that's not what I wanted. But on 5, now this is here, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted C. I beat this point to death. Anyway, you're super dope, my friend. I appreciate you a lot, and I hope to see you again next week. And until then, you already know the drill. Share the love, share the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Boom, movie magic.